2024 is almost over and 2025 is just a couple days away. And so here in this video today, I want to talk about a handful of fellow YouTubers, a couple channels that I found in 2024, and I really think their channel's worth checking out in 2025 to see them kind of grow and just see them kind of do their thing here on YouTube. So here today in this video, I'm going to talk about those channels. So stay tuned. Now, to start with, these channels are all in a similar kind of space. They're either home theater kind of oriented, or they're channels that talk about movie collecting and physical media and stuff like that. So it kind of runs in line with the stuff I typically talk about here on my channel. And these YouTubers that I'm going to talk about here today are about the same size as me in terms of subscribers and things like that. Some of them are maybe a little bit bigger, but most of them are about equal to me in subscriber count. And then some of them are actually a little bit lower down on the subscriber kind of chain than me. And so I figured it's kind of worthwhile to spread information out there and let everyone who may watch my videos kind of see these other channels that they may not kind of know about, and just, give them a chance here in 2025. And also with that in mind, these channels I'm talking about are not ranked or listed in any specific order. I'm not trying to rank them and say one is better than the other. That's not the point of this video. It's mainly just to get them out there and hopefully see them grow in 2025 like my channel did here in 2024. So with that, let's get to my list of channels that I want to talk about just briefly here that I think you should take a look at in 2025. Now, to start off with, I'm going to talk about briefly one channel that I actually mentioned in my last video, and that is Kevis and Films. Kevis is one of the channels here on YouTube that talks about home theater in his own kind of specific way. His home theater is set up slightly different than mine. He talks more about some more mainstream modern equipment and modern technologies a little bit more so than I do, because I tend to focus in more on older stuff. But one thing that Kevis and I do have in common, and this is definitely something I think you should check out on his channel, is he has a full line of commercial theater speakers in his home theater, much like the JBL Pro series speakers I have here in my theater. So go ahead and check Kevis out. His channel's growing. He's getting close to 1,000 subscribers. I'm sure he'll hit that in 2025. And he's the first channel I want to talk about and just recommend you guys check out here in the new year. With that, let's get on to the next channel I want to talk about. Now, the next channel is also in the home theater kind of realm, and I've mentioned this channel on here before, and we've conversed back and forth and even done some like video tagging back and forth over this past year, and that is Everything Home Theater. Everything Home Theater is a much smaller channel, compared to even to mine, and I'm not even that big in the grand scheme of things. But he's a really cool guy. We've talked back and forth. He's done some really cool videos and done just some neat stuff with different like editing things, and honestly probably a lot more in that line of kind of editing than I even do in my videos. I'm pretty straightforward and very simplistic in what I do. But his channel is definitely one to watch out for, because I know he really wants to focus on building out his home theater for the first time. And if he can actually get that going, I know life comes into play and, personal things come up. But if that actually happens and he can document building out his home theater, I think that's going to be a really cool channel and definitely something that home theater enthusiasts are probably going to want to see. So number 2, the second one here on my list is Everything Home Theater. Now, the next channel on my list is another one that I've talked about here on my channel before, and that's Pedros Movie Cavern. He's another guy who I've become friendly with here on YouTube over the course of 2024, and he doesn't really focus in on home theater necessarily. He's more about film history and physical media collections and just, you know, cinema in general and stuff like that, which is a really cool companion channel to something like I do here, because admittedly I'm not a cinema buff, I'm not, you know, a movie buff. I enjoy my movies that I enjoy and things like that, but I don't get into like the history and really talking about significance of like films and things like that. And to that end, recently Pedro has put up a series of videos about the history of post-apocalyptic movies in cinema, and he kind of breaks it down by eras and decades. And I think he's on like his third or fourth video of that series. Definitely check that out. It's really interesting. And like I said, it's definitely a cool channel to kind of pair as a companion piece with channels like mine that focus more about equipment and actual home theater setups, I guess. So definitely in 2025, check out Pedro's Movie Cavern, because I think it's a really good channel to find out just some history about movies and just different things of that nature. So that's number 3 on my list, Pedro's Movie Cavern. Let's get on to the next one. Now, these next couple that I'm going to talk about to kind of wrap this video up, these channels kind of focus in more on movie collecting, similar to like Pedro's Movie Cavern, and not so much into the home theater realm. With one kind of exception, which is what I'm going to bring up right here. And this is Star Wars Syndrome. This is another guy who doesn't really talk necessarily home theater per se, but he definitely shares a love of older technology like I do, and he has really done a lot of short form content, nothing too expansive like kind of what I do here on my channel sometimes. But he talks about Laserdiscs, he talks about old DVDs, he talks about I think even maybe some VHS tapes and things every now and then on there. But he really talks about how you can still find really good quality and value in these older technologies in your home theater or just kind of home viewing setup. And so he's another smaller channel. He does stuff intermittently, again, because I know life comes up and you've got to do what you got to do. But I definitely recommend checking his channel out because that is another good companion piece to a channel like mine that kind of talks about Laserdisc and DVDs and some older technology. Maybe not to the extent I do with my home theater, but he definitely focuses in on that. So the next one on my list is going to be Star Wars Syndrome. Now, real quick, before I finish up my list of the channels to check out in 2025, I'm going to do some shameless self-promotion, and I'm going to say if you like the content I have here today, definitely go check out those other channels, subscribe to them. They'll all be linked below. But also, if you like what I do, you definitely click like, click subscribe, leave a comment down below for my channel. I would greatly appreciate it, but definitely go and spread the love to these other channels as well. But with that, let's get back to my list of channels to check out in 2025. So the next channel I want to put on my list is Night Owl Video. And Night Owl Video is another channel much in the vein of like Pedro's Movie Cavern, where that channel focuses in more on actual movie collecting, physical media collecting, and just movie reviews, you know, and it's a really cool channel. They really just talk about the various kind of like physical media releases, from vintage stuff like Laserdisc, DVD, VHS, stuff like that, to more modern releases on like Blu-ray and 4K, I believe. And it's just really cool just to hear their opinions about everything there. And they're a smaller channel. I don't believe they are even at 1,000 subs yet. Another good channel to kind of pair with something that focuses more on the actual home theater experience, because they don't really focus in on that. They really just talk about the physical media releases and collecting and things. So the next one on my list is Night Owl Video. So definitely go check them out. Now, this next channel is actually the only channel on this list that actually has been around way longer than I have, and has quite a few more subscribers than me. And that is Xfile 2708. And this is a channel that, again, like these other ones, really focuses in on movie collecting and movie reviews and a lot of things like that. Xfile and one or two of the other ones on my list lives over in England, in the UK. And so they have kind of a different perspective than we do here in America on physical media collections and things like that. And he does a series on his channel called like Rebuilding the Collection, if I remember correctly, where he talks about all his thrift store finds and bargain bin kind of finds for VHS tapes, DVDs, different movies that he gets to just rebuild his physical media collection. And I've always enjoyed watching those over the last few months. So definitely check out Xfile. Like I said, he's an older channel. He's been around quite a bit longer than me. He's a channel to check out if you're not familiar with that channel here in 2025. And with that, let's get on to my last channel to check out going forward in 2025. Now, this last channel is also a channel based over in the UK, and he's a channel that actually is somewhat of the norm, I think, for most channels here on YouTube. Something maybe I even take for granted. And this channel is Sammy G's World of Cinema. Now, he's a channel that's been on YouTube for quite a while. He's been on here for years, and he's only got about 500 subscribers, give or take, at the point, filming this. And he puts out a lot of content just about physical media collections, going to movie theaters to watch, different releases. What I like about him is he's very much in the line of how I did my first couple months worth of videos here on YouTube, where it's kind of just like this, just set up your camera, hit record, and no real editing. Just whatever comes out, kind of warts and all, everything is just there, and he just is unscripted and just talks straight to the camera. And so Sammy G's World of Cinema, I think, is another fun channel to kind of check out because it is very just minimalist and very basic, just kind of straight from, his thoughts straight to the camera with very minimal editing. And so I definitely think that's a channel to check out in 2025 and hopefully help him grow and push him to get, to a couple more subscribers towards the end of next year. So to wrap this video up, definitely give those channels a look. They'll all be linked down below, as I said in my little cut-in. If you like what they do, give them a shout out, like their content, subscribe to their channel, spread the love. And definitely comment down below if there's any channels that you viewers out there think are worthy of kind of checking out in 2025, some smaller channels to help, see them grow. And I'll definitely check them out if I've never heard of them before. And with that, I've got one last video I'm going to try and get in right either on the last day of the year or maybe the first of next year, and that's going to be my year in review video, something I want to kind of do periodically, kind of annually every year, kind of looking back at the previous year of my channel here on YouTube. So that's the big one I'm going to work on and try and get it out right at the end of the year, either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. But with that, I'm going to wrap this video up here. I'm going to say thank you again to everybody who's checked out my content. I really do appreciate it. And with that, I will see you the next time in the next video right here on Secondhand Home Theater.